like he had a hard time putting out his sneakers. Could he have been injured before the fight?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, that I don't know. I mean, the day of the press conference, he came running out of the back and ran right up to him and stopped abruptly and, squared off with him. They were pushing foreheads. And
the question of getting paid as you step in the cage was...
Well, listen, if anybody saw anything that could have possibly made him look weak or injured...
This meant something to me, man. I needed this. I've been waiting for this comeback for so long. It didn't even feel real the entire fight week. And this is the result we get. This is the worst possible outcome of this main event. I see people that don't like Conor McGregor rejoicing at this outcome. You didn't even see him or get to see him get beaten up in that fight. This is the worst case scenario for any McGregor fan and any McGregor hater. We just straight up didn't get a main event.
Do we, the fans, have to once and for all say it's over? Conor McGregor is going to retire. His career is going to be over.
The wait was finally over, but the comeback the entire MMA world had been waiting years to witness ended in heartbreaking fashion within seconds. A night built for history turned into one of the biggest disappointments in UFC history. Conor McGregor has now broken his silence, while Dana White reveals what he really thinks about the shocking injury, responds to rumors that McGregor was hurt before the fight, and discusses whether the Notorious can return again. Joe Rogan, Daniel Cormier, and the MMA world also share their reactions.
A one-round war, or, who knew what Conor was capable of as far as cardio or whatever else after a 5-year layoff. And, well, there you go. I mean, we're assuming blown ACL. I'm no doctor, but that's what I figured when I saw it, and doctors think the same.
Dana White admitted the main event ended far differently than anyone inside the arena expected. After years of waiting for McGregor's return, he believed fans would at least witness a competitive opening round. Instead, a devastating injury changed everything within seconds, leaving even the UFC president stunned as he shared his first thought.
I can't tell you guys this. I got a text from our good friend, Dr. Brian Suterer, who's always on point when it comes to these things. Didn't see the classic shift like an obvious ACL. I'd say meniscus number 1. ACL definitely possible and a concern, but not the definitive kind like we've seen in others. Would fit with some meniscus issues coming into the fight that got worse on the landing. So there you have it from Dr. Brian Suterer, who always does an amazing job pinpointing these.
As injury speculation grew, Ariel Helwani shared Dr. Brian Sutterer's early assessment, suggesting McGregor's meniscus, not just his ACL, may have been damaged.
Side of the sports world. This was literally the very first thing that McGregor did. He came out, right? The announcers are talking about he's full of energy, right? It's his first fight out, and he goes and throws this crazy, ridiculous kick, and he lands really awkwardly on that right leg. Now, a lot of people are going to see this. The commentators were talking about it looked like he blew out his knee. I will admit, yes, this position looks like the classic position that you will see with an ACL tear in terms of the rotation of how the foot is externally rotated, the idea that we see a little bit of the knee going inward, the trunk is leaning over his injured side. But what you don't see on this injury is the classic pivot shift that you will sometimes see with an ACL tear. Now, that doesn't mean that this is not an ACL tear, but you at least don't see that stereotypical kind of pathognomonic shift forward of the tibia and then pop backwards like we would if you could confirm 100% that this was an ACL. I think looking at it from this view is a little bit better because we can see kind of straight on. So here he goes and jumps off of that right side, twists as he lands down. This is a really awkward position.
To understand what really happened inside the octagon, Dr. Brian carefully broke down the exact moment McGregor's knee gave way. By analyzing the replay frame by frame, he explained why the awkward landing initially resembled a classic ACL injury. However, he also highlighted several missing signs that doctors typically expect to see, raising new questions about the true extent of the damage and what actually failed during that split second.
High up on the list, just pointing out you don't see that classic pivot shift like we have seen in other cases. Subsequent sequences, right, they kept saying he was slipping. He's not slipping. Every time he tried to put any semblance of weight on that right leg, we could see him go down. Again, we really didn't see any continued pivot shift. We didn't see any forward tibia translation on this one here either. This was towards the very end. He steps again to put a little bit of weight on that leg. We can see it's very unsteady, and then just all of his weight kind of collapses as he completely comes up off of that foot. Now, what's interesting is when you look at the very last sort of sequence of the fight before it was finally called off, again, we're looking at McGregor's right leg here, and if anything, you almost see like a forward translation of his femur. So, right, whenever the ACL tears, you're gonna see a forward translation of the tibia going forward. Here, as we kind of go frame to frame, you almost see like his femur looks like it shifts forward. You kind of see that? Now that could just be his weight shift. Maybe he's trying to activate the quad a little bit more, and then has pain and it gives out. But it's almost like you see the femur shift forward relative to the tibia, which would not be suggestive or consistent of an ACL. Even on this next step right here, again, we don't really see that classic like tibia shifting forward sort of position. So actually seeing all this, my first thought would be a meniscus.
Many viewers believed Conor McGregor was simply slipping across the canvas after the injury. After reviewing every step in slow motion, he explained that McGregor wasn't losing his footing at all. His right leg could no longer support his weight. Even more surprisingly, the movement of his knee appeared inconsistent with a typical ACL tear, leading Dr. Brian to believe a serious lateral meniscus injury was the more likely explanation.
So when we were talking about the guy over here earlier asking about there being a pre-injury, just on my accounts, the face-off that day is at 80 million views, right? So if there was a pre-existing injury, somebody would have noticed it. He was limping, put his shoes on, he ran right at him. I don't think there was. Anything is possible, but he sure didn't look like it. And for 80 million just on my accounts, you know, that number's got to be massive, and nobody noticed anything. So there you go.
As rumors spread that Conor McGregor entered UFC 329 already injured, Dana White firmly rejected the speculation. He argued that with tens of millions of fans watching the press conference and face-off, any obvious limp or physical issue would have been spotted immediately. In his view, there simply wasn't enough evidence to support the theory.
Entered the octagon in the inspection zone. So hard to know.
Despite Dana White's confidence, another clip quickly fueled fresh controversy. Footage of McGregor preparing to enter the octagon without his shoes had fans analyzing every movement, with many believing they had finally found evidence that something didn't look quite right before the fight even began.
Max, there was a lot of preparation, there was a camp at 170, there was a lot of things going on. It lasted a few seconds. Tell me about those couple of seconds and what your takeaway from them is.
I had him weak in the knees. What can I say? You know, so at the end of the day, it is what it is. We got to do a third. Hopefully his injury is not too crazy. I know he was saying that they wanted him back in April. I can do that. That'd be fun. I want to actually feel what this 170 weight cracking and power that he says he has. So maybe we can do it back. Right now, I'm just praying for the guy, you know, all jokes aside, as a human being. Even when I was in there, you could see me telling the ref, bro, this guy is done. Just let it go. And the referee was telling me, bro, thank you for pushing me because it was a hard spot. He had a hard feeling. And Conor's crazy. Conor's like, fight. I was like, you're fucking crazy, bro.
Oh, he was yelling at you from the bottom?
For the first one, when he first fell down, he was like, fight, I'm good. And we went down the second time. I could just tell, like, his whole demeanor changed. I was like, bro, this called his fight, you know?
Max, that's why you are so beloved in this.
Although Max Holloway opened with a few jokes about having McGregor weak in the knees, his reaction quickly turned serious. He revealed that the moment Conor went down, he knew something was badly wrong, and immediately urged the referee to stop the fight to prevent further damage. Holloway also shared that Ms. McGregor was still telling everyone to keep fighting despite the injury. Putting the rivalry aside, Max wished Conor a full recovery and even welcomed the idea of settling their rivalry in a future trilogy fight.
I believe that also played a part in Conor McGregor's action today to start the fight. Remember, I have felt energy, but I have never felt energy like Conor McGregor. Even when John Jones and I fought, the energy in the building does not match the energy in a building when Conor fights. It's just the truth. I want to be honest with myself and be honest with you. So that energy, after being away from him for 5 years, may tell you, do something great people expected. It ultimately led to the injury. Hats off to Max Holloway, because Max recognized he was hurt. He was the one that told the referee to stop the fight because he could see that Conor's knee was blown. He's a stud, man, and this dude was ready and prepared to win.
Daniel Cormier believes the electric atmosphere surrounding Conor McGregor's long-awaited return may have influenced his aggressive start. According to DC, after spending 5 years away from the octagon, McGregor felt enormous pressure to deliver something spectacular immediately. Unfortunately, that explosive opening attack may have led directly to the injury, while Max Holloway's sportsmanship also earned praise for recognizing the situation and protecting his opponent.
Messi?
You hit his leg already? Oh! Hit his leg already?
Conor McGregor?
Did he just hit his leg already?
Is Conor McGregor hurt his leg?
You don't move like you risky doing that stuff, bro.
He said he's gonna play this.
Holloway's looking at the referee. Because the referee is injured. Mike Beltran says keep working. Still need it. Keep forward. Sideways down. Not good. Every time he rolls, like there's something wrong with his leg. And it's that leg.
Yeah. It's his bad leg.
Is that the same one? Is that it? Are you serious? Are you serious?
Both of these win, I swear.
As the UFC 329 main event came to a shocking halt, former featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski watched every second unfold live. At first, he couldn't believe what he was seeing, wondering if McGregor had simply slipped while attacking. But as the replay rolled, it became clear that something far more serious had happened. Volkanovski immediately noticed Conor repeatedly losing balance, struggling to put weight on his right leg, and grabbing at the injury. Just like millions of stunned fans around the world, he quickly realized this wasn't a minor mistake. It was a devastating injury that had instantly changed the entire course of one of the most anticipated comebacks in UFC history.
3 fights a year. They're trying to do this off of nothing. They're trying to do this from scratch. They're trying to come out of rehab and act like 6 months is enough to go in the ring with maybe the best fighter in the world in Max Holloway. Maybe. I mean, he dog walked the world champion. Maybe he's the best fighter in the world. Come on, it was too big of an ask.
Yeah, it was a big ask. And I mean, even I maybe think the least optimistic person, I mean, 69 seconds, hurts himself on the first kick. Looking back at all this, you know, I mean, I had heard days ago that this was the plan for him to open doing that. We see him warming it up like, you know, John Kavanaugh and talking about this. We practiced this for weeks. It was a fluke accident. There was nothing wrong with the knee. Like, given what he's been through and all that, to come out and do something where it puts that much pressure on the body, like, is that just a tactical mistake from step one?
Well, you know, and again, I actually put that in the bucket of Conor support. Like, he needed to make Max guess.
Chael Sonnen believes McGregor's comeback was always going to be one of the toughest challenges of his career. After spending years away from the octagon, he was expected to return against one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport without any tune-up fight. Looking back after the injury, Chael questioned whether the expectations were simply too high and whether the entire comeback had been rushed from the very beginning.
But overall, when you're going to look back at this fight, it's a win on your record. How do you observe it?
Win is a win, you know. A couple people got wins over me that kind of pissed me off, but at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, they're going to go down and look in the history books. They're just going to look at a piece of paper and say, and see a W or L next to your name. So that's what I'm taking it as.
Fair enough, Max. We appreciate your time as always. Congratulations.
When asked how he would remember UFC 329, Max Holloway kept his answer simple. He admitted the ending wasn't how anyone imagined, but in the record books, the result will never change, regardless of the circumstances. Holloway believes history only remembers one thing, and a defeat beside the others, a victory beside one fighter's name, and a defeat beside the other.
Snaps his foot, and he winces in pain. Fuck! I fucking hate my life! This is one fucking escape I get, and it's shit! And McGregor's just limping around like my fucking man! Fuck!
The moment McGregor's leg gave out, the MMA guru went from excitement to complete disbelief. Having waited years for Conor's long-awaited return, he couldn't hide his frustration as the fight ended almost instantly. His emotional reaction reflected exactly what countless fans around the world were feeling after one of the most heartbreaking endings in recent UFC history.
And there is, the pessimistic side where this is a full ACL tear. It's a 9 to 12 month recovery, all that stuff. Like, if it is a serious thing that requires surgery, do you think we ever see Conor McGregor fight in the UFC again?
No, but if you were to take that away, and if we were to say, boy, we got lucky. In fact, a step further, the referee misdiagnosed this. He's completely fine. We don't see him fight again, no. For the example that I put out earlier, you cannot main event him.
As discussions shifted toward McGregor's future, Chael Sonnen delivered a brutally honest assessment. He explained that if the injury turned out to be a complete ACL tear requiring surgery, another UFC comeback would become highly unlikely. In Chael's opinion, regardless of the final diagnosis, McGregor may have already fought his last UFC main event.
With Conor McGregor and Max Holloway, hopefully Conor's not hurt too bad, and hopefully Max gets an opportunity to compete very soon. The question now becomes, does Conor McGregor have it in him to come back? That is a big ask, guys. It's big of us to ask Conor McGregor if his knee is blown out to go through another year of rehab, another year of the sacrifices, the pain that it takes to work yourself back to a professional mixed martial artist, especially when you have the money that Conor McGregor has. That's a big ask. And if you ask me truthfully, I am more likely to tell you that it's not going to happen.
Daniel Cormier believes the biggest question is no longer how serious Conor McGregor's injury is, but whether he still has the motivation to endure another long rehabilitation. After already overcoming one devastating leg injury and spending years preparing for this comeback, DC admitted it would take extraordinary commitment to start the entire process again. Considering McGregor's success outside the octagon, Cormier believes another return is becoming increasingly unlikely.
Exchange with him and he'd shoot in. What's happened? Oh my God, McGregor's done already? Well, he's finished. The new boy is in town. The main man's here. Know what I mean? I can become the face of the organisation now. But yeah, great. What a performance from me. Don't want to blow smoke up my own ass, but what a performance.
Even before stepping into the octagon for his own fight, Paddy Pimblett couldn't believe what had just happened in the main event. Watching McGregor's comeback end almost instantly, Paddy realized the landscape of the UFC had suddenly changed. With Conor sidelined once again, he boldly suggested that the organization's bid had begun, and that he could now become the organization's biggest star.
It's tough. It's tough. I really wanted him to come back and have a good performance. I thought Holloway was going to win by TKO, so I guess I'm correct. But I didn't want to be correct like that. I wanted to at least see a performance where I knew. Has McGregor still got it a bit? Is McGregor still in the mix? Can he not beat Holloway, but he could beat so-and-so? You know? I was thinking, okay, even if Holloway finishes McGregor in round 4 and McGregor looks good early, does he still beat Dan Hooker if he comes back and fights Dan Hooker? You know? It was just a few of those things where I was Just hoping I'd get some answers for what level McGregor's at after these 5 years off. To be honest, he did look a little slow, but it was at welterweight, so that's hard to tell, because I'm used to seeing him at featherweight and in his prime at lightweight, but it sucks, man. I don't know what they're going to do next.
While many analysts predicted Max Holloway would eventually defeat Conor McGregor, the MMA guru admitted this was never the outcome he wanted to see. More than anything, he wanted answers. After 5 years away from the octagon, everyone wanted to know whether McGregor could still compete against elite fighters, or if his best days were truly behind him. Instead, the injury ended the fight before those questions could be answered, leaving fans disappointed, and McGregor's future more uncertain than ever.
Wow. A minute 9 seconds into the first round. I mean, does Conor fight again? Imagine the pressure that was on Conor McGregor's shoulders going into this fight. Imagine the pressure. Oh God, no, I can't watch. Oh, I can't watch. Imagine the pressure going into the. I can't watch. I'm closing my eyes because it's on the screen. Imagine the pressure going into the next fight. Max was saying, "Oh God, quit showing me that shit. I can't see that." Fuck, I turn it off. Max was saying Conor versus Max 3 in December or some shit, but I mean, he's blew his shit out. He ain't fighting private.
Sean O'Malley admitted it was heartbreaking to watch Conor McGregor's comeback end so quickly. He highlighted the immense pressure McGregor faced after years away from the octagon and questioned whether another comeback was even possible. Sean also felt for Max Holloway, believing the injury prevented fans from seeing the fight everyone had waited for.
What is going on? Yo, this is the most... The fuck am I watching, bruh? Stop. That's... No, stop, bro. Yo, refund every bet. Refund every bet. Yo, every sports book in America, in the world, better refund that bet right the now. This motherfucker walked out and got injured in 1 second. Okay, fuck this shit. Refund every single person's bet. Immediately. What the f did I just watch? He's a fucking convicted rapist. This is the biggest scam I've ever seen in my fucking life, bro. No, so wait, Conor McGregor, so you're just gonna walk out too? You're not even gonna talk? You're not even gonna say? Nah, you're a piece of yo, Conor McGregor is a piece of human, bro. He's a piece of human. You don't even have the decency to talk to your fans.
The shocking ending sparked emotional reactions across the internet, but few were as explosive as popular streamer Los Polos. Watching the fight end almost immediately, he erupted in disbelief, demanding betting refunds and accusing the entire situation of being unfair to fans, who had waited years for McGregor's return. His emotional outburst perfectly captured the frustration shared by thousands of viewers who felt robbed of one of the biggest main events in UFC history. Conor McGregor's heartbreaking injury sent shockwaves throughout the MMA world within minutes. Fighters from every corner of the sport rushed to social media, sharing their disbelief, sympathy, and opinions on the shocking ending. Some praised Max Holloway's sportsmanship. Others expressed concern for McGregor's future, while a few couldn't hide their frustration over the anticlimactic finish. Even personalities outside the UFC joined the conversation, proving that despite the unfortunate result, UFC 329 instantly became the biggest talking point in combat sports. UFC 329 will be remembered not for an unforgettable war, but for one of the most heartbreaking endings in MMA history. What was supposed to mark Conor McGregor's greatest comeback instead left fans with more questions than answers. Can the Notorious recover and make one final return, or have we already witnessed the last chapter of his legendary career? Only time will tell. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe Conor McGregor will fight again, or is this truly the end? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more UFC updates.